So brother, let's get one thing straight. Too many men are living in fear and don't even know it. Most men are playing small and they've convinced themselves that it's because they don't have the time, the money, or the opportunity, so to speak. But the truth, those excuses are just fear in disguise, and it's holding them back from the life they say they want. So brothers, welcome back to another episode of the Rising Kings podcast, episode 180. My name is Salkeld. I am the founder and the director of the Rising Kings movement, where I'm helping men raise standards, elevate performance, and actually crush it in life. And today I'm ripping the mask off this scarcity mindset and calling it what it actually is. The real reason you're not where you want to be. And I'm going to share my own wake-up call in this and show you how stepping into the unknown with courage is the only way to crush this game of mediocrity and finally get after what it is you're actually capable of. Now, how many times have you told yourself, I'd love to do that, but I don't have the time? Or if I just had the money, I'd make it happen. Or my personal favorite, which is, now's just not a good time. Now, let me tell you what this really is. It's fear, man. Fear of failing, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, fear of the discomfort, fear of finding out you're not as good as you think you are. And right now, this conversation could be pissing you off. You might be thinking, fuck you, Ben. Don't tell me if I've got fear. I'm not scared of anything, brother. And I totally get that because that was me. I actually believed my own bullshit on this. And I found myself over the years getting caught in this scarcity mindset, making up excuses not to play a bigger game. And the reason why this has come to fruition at the moment is we're heading into Christmas, we're heading into silly season, and I just see so many excuses that men are using not to step into their greatest opportunities of life. You know, telling themselves that now's not a good time, telling themselves that I just got to get through this season, telling themselves I just got to wait till the new year. Because scarcity, brother, isn't about resources. It's about a mindset. And we keep telling ourselves a story to avoid discomfort. But here's the problem. That fear isn't protecting you. It's keeping you small. And small thinking leads to a small life. And I want to share, here's a couple of real world examples. Think about giving up alcohol. This is a really good conversation to have with yourself. It's like, why do you still drink? Now, it's easy to make up a million fucking reasons that we still drink. It's okay. There's no problem with it. Everyone else is doing it. I only have a couple. I don't have an alcohol problem. And there's zero judgment here. I'm just looking at this through the lens of where I was and how it held me back. Because I'm now close to 8 years dry. 8 years. I haven't touched alcohol. And it didn't start that way. I wasn't a massive fucking binge drinker all the time, but I was, having drinks every couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a couple of drinks, all that sort of stuff. And I would give myself reasons as to why I didn't stop. And I think about it like this period of time, Christmas, silly season, and this conversation comes up. It's like, why don't you challenge yourself, brother, when you say you don't want to drink? Like, fucking don't drink. Oh man, but I just got to get through Christmas and then get through New Year's and then, where does it not end? Or why doesn't it end? And we can make up every excuse that we want to under the sun, but the truth is, it's the fear of the discomfort that's going to come with this level of commitment. Because every fact out there tells you alcohol is not fucking good for you. However, what about the social elements, Ben? We need to be sociable. We can't just all be fucking hardcore, strict people like yourself who just fucking cut out all the excuses. Dude, stories. Like the truth is, it is just fear of the discomfort for committing to something like this. Another one is around competitions. Like when I talk about competitions, I'm talking about things like Ironmans or marathons or ultra marathons or high rocks events, etc. I used to tell myself, I'm not ready. Like now's not a good time. Yeah, let's do it in a couple of months. Let's plan these things out. But they never came to be. And what I realized was I actually had fear around losing. I didn't want to fucking lose. And so I didn't let myself go and do these competitions. And I would tell myself, well, I need to prep myself. I need to get ready. And it's like, well, how much longer do you fucking need before you go and do these? Whereas this year in 2024, I just went all in on anything that came to me. I just saw it as an opportunity. And this is the same whether it comes in business, whether that comes in marriage, the way that you show up for your kids, going on holidays, all these different things. Like we are sitting back and holding ourselves back from living our best life because of this scarcity mindset that sits underneath fear. And I want to call out this because I think a lot of men actually, one, not aware, or two, don't actually believe that's the problem. And I, for years, got stuck in this. Like I have recently, this is through, just to put into context, like this recent revelation that I'm about to share with you has come through the last 3 months of work, doing some deep diving around Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and really digging in. Like I'm talking 80 to 90 pages of journaling to actually unpack and find this blind spot, this piece that sat underneath, that I was still living in a scarcity mindset. And I live a fucking pretty good life. Like I live an amazing life. Yet there was still a scarcity script that ran underneath, that was held me back through this notion of fear. And it wasn't until I unpacked this recently where it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, holy shit, like I didn't realize that I had this. And I'm like, I'm sure I am not the only man. And that's why I wanted to get on here this week and really talk about it and help you understand that the only way to break through it is one, become aware, and then two, to have the courage to step in and actually start taking what you deserve and what you desire. And that's what really, at the end of the day, Rising Kings and this movement is all about. It's about calling out your own bullshit, like owning your fear and refusing to let this scarcity run your life. We don't do excuses, man. Like, I don't want to play small. I want to choose courage over comfort every single time. And so what I want to help you understand, man, is like, you've got to stop waiting for guarantees. You've got to stop thinking, but what if I fail, man? What if this doesn't work? Or now's not the right time? It's like, dude, the longer you wait, the harder this shit is going to get. When I talk about this shit, this stuff, I'm talking about living at your highest potential. Your wife is screaming out for you. Your kids are screaming out for you to be your best. Your business is yelling out to you. And a lot of us are just settling for good. We settle in this notion of mediocrity. And so the point I want to get across is, if you really want to grow, man, if you really want to win, then you've got to be prepared to step into the unknown. You've got to stop waiting for these perfect conditions and start taking action even when it's uncomfortable. Because that's where the power lies. It's not in playing it safe. It's actually about betting on yourself. And when I talk about betting on yourself, I get sometimes that our capacity isn't very high. And so we don't bet on ourselves. We don't believe that we can do what needs to be done. And that's where you've got to go and surround yourself with others who can support you until that capacity expands. And I talked about that on last week's pod, like making sure you're in the right tribe, episode 179. surrounding yourself with the right people who are going to back you because they believe in you even before you do. And that's the power in all this work, man. But I want to just kind of close out on this. I want you to truly just think about this for the next week. If you can take my advice here, or you can fucking shut it down. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Like it doesn't worry me what you do here. I'm just here to share with you because I'm talking to my previous younger self to say, dude, like this is what needs to be done. Because what I've found is that fear is the killer of dreams. We can pretend we're not scared, but that is a lie. And until you come to grips with it, you're not going to make the moves that need to be made, right? Scarcity is going to keep you small, man. You've got to have the balls, brother, to step into the unknown. You have to move with no more excuses, no more waiting. I like to say it's time to go big or go home. And I'll even close on this. I've invested a lot of time, effort, and money into business growth and personal growth over the years. However, I've also held myself back from doing it because I've been afraid that, hey man, these are big fucking chunks of money here. $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a year to jump into some of these groups and masterminds. And I'm like, now's not the right time. Now's not the right opportunity. I don't have the cash right now to do this. Whatever it is, like all these excuses. What I found though is I'm yet to find where I didn't just fucking step in, have the courage and trust it and back myself, that everything else expanded. And I started getting the results that I desired to get. But I had to do something bold, man. I had to do something bold. And so I want for you, man, to think about 2025. How do you make 2025 better than 2024? Even if 2024 was a good year. It's about this notion of taking bold action, backing yourself, bro, letting go of the fear. Don't let scarcity run your life anymore. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect opportunity. There is no right, ideal time to start the game of growth. The time is now, man. You have to take the move or stay settled where you are. The choice is yours. And so I trust that serves you, brother. I know I came in fucking hot at the start of this episode for a reason, because I'm like, someone has to have this conversation. I want to help brothers. I want to help men fucking stand up, step up. I know what you're capable of. All the men inside the brotherhood are fucking phenomenal, powerful men. Sometimes they just don't see it or believe it in themselves. And that's my job, is to pull it out of them, is to hold them to a standard, is to push them to a high level of performance so that they can operate at their best over and over and over again until they believe it and see it in themselves. So don't settle, man. It's time to step up. Get out there. Make it the best year of your fucking life, brother. Stay strong.